On this vote, the yeas are 221 and the nays are 212. The resolution is adopted. Without objection, the motion to reconsider is laid on the table.
They've got a mountain of evidence, but all the evidence shows that Joe Biden is not guilty of any presidential offense. In fact, their own witnesses came to their only public hearing on impeachment, and to a witness said that they did not see sufficient evidence to justify impeachment. Well, don't we need an inquiry then to get more evidence? No, they've gotten whatever they wanted, and don't take my word for that, because Chairman Comer has gone on TV and bragged about the fact that he's gotten 100% compliance with all of his subpoenas. They've gotten hundreds of thousands of pages worth of documents and dozens of hours of testimony from 9 different federal government officials from the Biden administration. And now they're talking about obstruction. It's too late for that, not when you're bragging that you've already gotten everything that you've looked for.
Evidence uncovered has shown a very disturbing trend by the Biden family. We've spent months in this investigation accumulating evidence. We have a simple question that I think an overwhelming majority of Americans have. What did the Bidens do to receive the tens of millions of dollars from our enemies around the world? Today's unanimous vote by our conference showed that we are united as a conference. We expect to have people honor our subpoenas. We want to wrap this investigation up, but obviously you get to the deposition phase before you wrap up an investigation. So that's where we are. We issued a lawful subpoena to the president's son. This has been a 10-month investigation, a credible, transparent investigation that has produced a lot of troubling evidence. Specific questions for the president's son. He does not get to dictate the terms of this subpoena. This is a concern. This is about public corruption at the highest levels. And, the president's son does not get to set the rules. I mean, he's had a pretty good run with the Department of Justice, with the IRS, and with the FBI. But these 2 committees are going to hold firm. We have taken steps to go by the book in this investigation. Now we're in the phase where we do the depositions, and what he did today is unacceptable.
I think the biggest takeaway was the statement from Mr. Biden where he said, "My father was not financially involved in the business." That is a huge change, which means he's involved. I think that's how anyone with common sense would read it. He's been involved, just not financially. That is a huge departure from everything they've said now for the last 3.5 years.
Hunter Biden, through his attorney, contacted the committee and said he was ready and willing to come today, December 13th, 2023 at 9:30 to this place to appear before the committee, as the chairman had repeatedly stated. And Chairman Comer and Chairman Jordan would not take yes for an answer. Why? Because they wanted to conduct the deposition in a closed-door interview so the public couldn't see it, and so they could continue to cherry-pick little pieces of evidence and distort and misrepresent what had taken place there. And this is a pattern that Hunter Biden and his lawyer clearly observed, that members of this committee have observed, has been taking place for many months now.
This is part of our standard legal proceedings. The committee majority, the Republican side, said, listen, this is what we'd like to happen. Hunter Biden has agreed to testify before Congress. He has agreed to comply. But the Republican side has made ridiculous demands that it must happen behind closed doors, out of public sight. We believe that that is wrong, that the public deserves to see the deposition. And frankly, the Republican side, I don't think, wants this to be public because they know and have been so embarrassed by past hearings that they don't want to risk the public seeing exactly how much of a farce their investigation is. If it's an investigation of integrity, if they have a point, let it happen in front of the public.
Did he spend any time watching what his son had to say outside the Capitol?
So just a couple of things on that, and I want to be really clear. Look, as you know, Hunter Biden is a private citizen, and so I certainly would refer you to his representatives. Look, the president was certainly familiar with what his son was going to say, and I think what you saw was from the heart from his son. And you've heard me say this, you've heard the president say this. When it comes to the president and the first lady, they are proud of him continuing to rebuild his life. They are proud of their son.